In a major turnaround, U.S. President Donald Trump has put a 90-day pause on his so-called reciprocal tariffs on dozens of countries. The tariffs announced a week ago were to, quote, liberate the U.S. from what Trump says is other countries taking advantage of them. The pause excludes China, which now faces an increased 125% levy from the U.S. Let's get more from Joyce Tseng, who has been following developments for us from our newsroom in Taipei. Joyce, why is Trump issuing this pause now, and is Taiwan included?
Right, it's a significant shift in Trump's policy. Look, earlier this week, there were rumors that the U.S. would pause the tariffs. That caused U.S. markets to briefly bounce back. But that rumor was quickly shut down by the White House and markets sunk back down. But now we're hearing it from Trump himself. He's paused a slew of higher tariffs on roughly 60 countries, which includes Taiwan, lowering them to 10% for 90 days. Now, this morning, Taiwanese officials have said that this gives them some breathing room to negotiate.
A sharp turn after days of market turmoil. U.S. President Donald Trump pauses the sweeping so-called reciprocal tariffs on dozens of countries, levies that sent stocks across the world tumbling. Trump saying he wrote up the new policy after thinking about it over the last few days.
We wrote it up from our hearts, right? We don't want to hurt countries that don't need to be hurt, and they all want to negotiate. The only problem is, you can only do so many at one time.
Earlier this week, the White House said around 70 countries had already reached out to strike a deal. Taiwan, which has been bracing for a 32% tariff on most of its goods going to the U.S., had offered to start negotiations on the basis of zero tariffs, President Lin Chia-lung already ruling out retaliatory tariffs. Speaking to lawmakers, Foreign Minister Lin Chia-lung confirmed that Taiwan is among those to get the 90-day reprieve.
你们有没有去确认台湾是不是这些被暂停的 some countries？ 我们有没有在那里面？有确认的吗？
是。Ling says Taiwan is prepared to negotiate with the added time and address Taiwan's large trade surplus with the U.S., a trade imbalance Trump has criticized.
我们也一方面做好了各种方案的准备。行政院基于我国家安全及利益，已经完成盘点对农工 石油、天然气等产品的大量采购计划。
As for support for local small and medium-sized firms, Economy Minister J.W. Guo says the cabinet's proposed $2.7 billion aid package will not change and will go through as planned in the coming days.
照顾产业的态度是不变的。
Despite changes to U.S. policy, Taiwan says its priority to safeguard the economy and the country's interests remains the same, and that it's ready to negotiate with Washington at any time.
Trade negotiator Yan Huixing says Taiwan is using multiple channels to try and get these talks set up. She says that Taiwan has reached out to the U.S. Treasury, the Commerce Department, and Trade Agency. She says Taiwan is on the list for talks, but as to when that will be or whether other countries will have priority over Taiwan, officials today still say that they'll have to wait and see, but that they're proactively approaching their U.S. counterparts.